Hello everybody, do you hear me? Is everything okay? So, we are going to start this workshop freestyle. If it's your first time on this YouTube channel, don't forget to click to subscribe. Don't forget to click the notification bell to have all the videos that you want on this YouTube channel. Today, I wanted to do a little bit different. I wanted to show you how are you doing? Okay, so today I wanted to do something a little bit different in this YouTube channel. I wanted to do something that's going to help you be more creative in your classes. So this workshop is really about how to be a more creative person when it comes to your freestyle. Okay, so the first question is, what are the tools that we can bring to the table when it's all about creativity? So the goals that we're going to teach in this workshop are going to be the 5 teaching keys, the 7 variation, the 8 style factors, what we call the musicality and the music movement relationships, the storytelling, the textures and the layers, and then we are going to teach about the methods and the pace of the teaching. So first of all, the 5 teaching keys. So as we know, we have the technique, we have the choreography, we have the didactics, we have the communication, and we have the animation. All of these keys are really these keys are really important when we are going to teach the people in our classes. So for instance, if you watch the choreography, you need to know all the elements that are going to be in this choreography, but you need also to teach the people, and for teaching the people you need to have a good communication, a good animation, and a good technique. If you lack a little bit of skills in one of these, automatically your choreography is going to be a little bit disappointing to your classes, and even your class is not going to be as good as it can be if you use all of these keys. Okay, so we're going to learn a little bit different. So now we have the 7 variations. So what are these 7 variations and how can we use them in our classes? So the first one is we are going to show you. I'm going to show you this 7 variations. So the first one are the levers. Okay, then you have the levers repetitions, then you have the propulsions, the rhythm, the orientation, the style, and the arms. And first of all, if you want to use the variations on basic steps, you need to know your basic steps. So we have 3 basic steps family. We're going to come again on the same diapo. Okay, so the basic steps family, we have 3 steps, 3 basic steps families. So we have the marches, we have the taps, and we have the touches. Okay, the marches are really simple. It's like a mambo. It's a basic step. It's a V step. It's a T step, H step, K step, and all the steps that are involving the marches. Then you have the taps, and then you have the touches. So the taps, you have the accents, which are on the 1, 3, 5, and 7, and the touches the accents are going to be on 2, 4, 6, and 8. But I'm going to come again on these hi Samuel, on these notions. So 3 basic steps families, and then we have the variations that we can put on our 3 basic steps families. Okay, so now you need to know also the logic of these families. So if you have a marches plus a marches, you're not going to change our leading feet. So for instance, if you are starting with your right leg and you're going to do march, so basic plus basic, you're not going to change your leading feet, okay? So you're going to start again with the right leg. If you do the marches and the taps, you will have the change because the taps are the alternated basic family, okay? The same goes for the touches because you have the touches that are going to change your leading feet. If you have the touch, tap and touch, just one after the other, you're going to have no change on your leading feet. Why? Because they're going to cancel each other. So if you do, for instance, tap on the right leg and you do a step touch on the left leg, when you're going to start to march again, you're going to be again on the right leg, okay? And then you have the combination, which is tap, touch, and tap. Because there are 3 of them, you're going to change the leg. And if you have 3 of these movements that are alternating, and then you have the marches, you're going to change again. I think that most of you already know this, but it's always good to do a little bit of talking about this. Okay, so now that we have this, we're going to talk a little bit about different steps. So like I said, we have the marches, which are steps without alternation. Then you have the steps with alternations, which are the taps and the step touchers or the tap up in our step classes. So the most important thing that you need to remember in marches that you don't have any accents. Why don't I have any accents? Because when you're going to count them, you are going to count them in the same way. You're going to, for instance, I'm going to show you. You're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You don't have any accents. It's always the same movement, always the same things. If you're going to go counting some taps or touches, you're going to tap on the count number 1, then tap on the count number 3, then on the 5, and then on the 7. And then these steps are going to be with alternation, because if you do a tap and then you continue to march, you are going to be on the left leg. So if you remember this logic, tap plus march, change, okay? And then you have the touches, and the accents is going to be on the count, like I said before, 2, 4, 6, and 8. Yes, so if you have step, so step is going to be 1 count, and touch is going to be the another count, okay? Step 1, touch 2, okay? So this is really the things you need to keep in mind when you're going to choreograph your choreography. So in marches, we have basics, V step, A step, X step, L step, E step, Y step, T step, Z step, box and jazz square. So you need to really know the difference between the box and the jazz square. Box step, the crossing is going to be on the count number 2, and jazz square, the crossing is going to be on the count number 1. Then you have the reverse, mambo, baby mambo, turn, pivot, straddle here, à cheval, straddle, mambo back, mambo side, leaf ball change, knee ball change, kick ball change, half L basic, all the things that you can do here. And then you can also use marches, for instance, because when you do marches, you can combine all the different movements that you have here to have really cool choreo. In taps, we have tap, knee, the knee is in French is the genou, lift, kick, heel tap, knee twist, chassé, pas de bourrée, pirouette, scissors, ball change, turn ball change, and you have block. The block is a little bit different, it's a little bit particular, but here you can use the block instead of doing the tap, okay? And then in here, in this steps with interlation, so in touches, we have step touch, double step touch, grab vine, step tap out, and step knee, step lift, step kick, tam tam, and all the different things that you can use here. Step ball change, step pas de bourrée, step jump, step tap, and etc. etc. Okay. So, and then if you want, you can always do the repetitions, different kind of repetitions. So if you want to do like one tap, then you do two taps, then you do one tap. You can do one tap, then three taps, then one tap. So you can do really a major part. You can do really big combos with this, just with this. Okay, so this is really the basics things that you can do with your choreo. Guys, for now, it's everything okay? Do you have any questions? Yes, okay for you? Okay, so if you don't have any questions, I'm going to go a little bit. If I'm too fast, you can tell me about it, okay? So now that I understand a little bit my basic step families, I'm going to go a little bit further. So now, when I have my basic steps families here, I can go and work with my levers, okay? So I have my levers, which is the first variation that I do. The levers, it's knee, heel, kick, twist, lift, everything that you can do about it, okay? So now that I have my levers, I can do alternate, or simple repetitions. So like I said, you can do just like 3 on 1. Yes, tell me what questions do you have, Samuel? Tell me about it. So it's not just me talking. If you have questions, don't hesitate. Tell me. I'm just waiting a little bit. Just write the question, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to answer it eventually. Okay. So now the third variation that you can do are the proportions. So in proportions, you have leap or bounce. Okay. You have the hops. You can combine the both. You have the jumps. You have the sisson. You have the assemblée. Okay. Then you have the rhythms. In rhythms, you're going to have the counter times, the split times, the double tempo. Not everything is clear. Can you tell me what is not clear? So I'm going to continue to just ask the question, and I'm going to answer it when things are not clear. Rhythm, okay? So you have the rhythm, like I said, split time, double tempo, triplets, accents. In orientation, you have horizontal space, you have the vertical space. In style, you have the fluid style or the jerky style. And in arms, you're going to have a symmetrical and symmetrical combinations of your arms. So, like for instance, if I do a V step, okay? If I do one V step here, I can add one knee just afterwards, or two knees if I want to do the repetitions. If I do like V step and the knee, I can do like a hop, okay? Then I can just the rhythm, like I can do a block in my move, okay? I can do orientation. I could do like a turn, or I can bend a little bit. I can do a fluid style, like hip hop, fluid, like more like a hip hop, or I can add some arms on my V step plus a knee. Okay, this is really just the basic thing that you can add in your classes. So I know that for now it's maybe not clear, but if you we're going to really I'm going to really explain you the things really easily. Okay, so I'm going to push it a little bit in the next presentation. So now the first two, okay, the first two here, levers and repetitions of levers, we have them here. Okay, they are already here. So the first is just adding one lift on your V step. pirouette or anything that you can do. And then the repetitions on levers is this: 1 tap, 2 taps, 1 tap, like for instance, okay? Step chassé, I can add like 2 chassés, I can add like 1 chassé, then 3 chassés on my V-step. I can do whatever I want just by adding levers and repetitions of levers, yes? Then in propulsions, now we're going to be a little bit more specifics. So you have the hops here, okay? You can jump with your landing. The hops are jumping with landing just on the same feet. Okay, if I jump and I land on the same feet, I'm doing a hop. Okay, so the impact on these are on the counts 2, 4, 6, and 8. If I do a leaps, so if I jump, leaps are the jumps with the landing on the other feet. So if I jump, for instance, I'm jumping from my right leg and I'm going to jump on my left leg. Yes? Seesaw. So the seesaw, you're going to do a departure on the 2 feet, and then you're going to land on just 1 feet. And this, the impact here is neutral. So you can go either on the left leg or either you can go on the right leg. Okay? Then you have assembly. Assembly, then you have the departure on 1 or 2 feet and you're landing on 2 feet. Yes, these are just jumps, propulsions. And then you have the jumps, which are the most common, which is you departure on 2 feet and you land on 2 feet. Yes? So if I do, for instance, if I do a V-step and if I jump, okay, I'm going to jump from 2 feet and I'm going to land on my 2 feet. So these are the proportions that I can put on every move that I want, which is the basic step, which is the knee, which is the kickball change, or everything that I can just add these things on my layers. It's like a layer, okay? It's like you could put on the move. Then you have the rhythm. Okay, so the rhythm is it can be a little bit complicated. Most of people do just this count and time, which is 3 moves in 2 counts. For instance, if you're doing pas de bourrée, you're going to do 1, 2, and so it's going to 1 and 2. Okay, but when you're looking at the move, you're going to do 3 moves in 2 counts for a pas de bourrée. Okay, so the split time, it's doing 1 move on 2 counts. So it's like blocking. I'm just blocking and I'm doing like block. This is 2 counts. Then I have my double tempo. Double tempo is doing 4 movements in 2 counts. It's like having 2 ball changes. A ball change and a ball change. Okay, ball change. Yes, this is 4 movements, in 2 counts. Then I have the triplets. This one we don't use too much in step and aerobics, but this is really one that I like because it's really original. It's really speed. You're going to do 3 moves in 1 count. Yes? And then you have the accents. Accents are blocking, and this is like you have like an accent on the count number 7, for instance. And then if you do like, you're going to put a knee on the count number 7, and if you want to catch your counts, you're going to just accelerate a little bit. So you're going to be fast, slow, fast. Okay? So this is really a cool rhythm. Like I said, in step and aerobics, we don't use them much, but I think that these 2 are really cool things that you can do when doing your rhythm. Okay, let's go a little bit further. Then you have the orientations. So the 5th element of our variations, which is the orientation. So you can have the horizontal space. The horizontal space, it's in front, it's to the back, to the right, to the left, diagonals, straight paths, approaches in L, approaches in A, approaches in V. You have some curved paths. You have some closed designs. You can do like a triangle, or you can do like a diamond. you can have also open designs, like you can do whatever you want when it's going to be about horizontal space. When it comes to vertical space, you have the high levels, okay? You're going up, you're going to like jumps, you're going to lift a little bit. When you have the medium levels, you can play a little bit with your chest orientation, for instance. And you have the low levels, which is bending in front, bending back, bending to the side. And you have the plié. Plié means just bend your knees, for instance, okay? Plié, it's a term that we use in ballet. Okay, so you can have different approaches. You can have in front, you can have in the profile, left or right. You have above, back, straddle, diagonal, around, rotation, at the end of the corner. Okay, so imagine this is your step. Okay, so if I want to choreograph a little bit, I can go in front, I can go to the side, I can go to the side here, I can go back, back here, I can go a little bit on my left. Okay, like I'm going to, for instance, I'm here, and I'm going to turn a little bit around, and then I'm going to do above. I can be on the step, or I can be on straddle of the step. Straddle means I have my feet like here. Okay. Then we have, like I said, this is our different approaches that you can do in your step classes. So you can go, like I said, corner to corner, across the top, over the top. You can go to the side, you can go in the front, you can go on the step, you can go back, you can cut in half your reverse. You can do whatever you want, but you need to just have the tools that you can have. They are going to help you to have the things. Okay, don't worry. I'm going to give you the PDF, so you can work at home, and you can give me you can ask me some questions if needed. Okay. Then you have the orientation of your group. You can go in front with your group. So if you have 30 persons in your class, you can go in front, you can go in back, you can go to the profile, you can have two groups which are face to face. You have the people who can be in circle, you can be in line, you can have a V or an A, you can be in a cross position, you have two groups and one in front, the other on the back. You have the vertical step, you have two peoples on the same step. Okay, so you have really much things to do just with the orientation of your group. So this is really a part of being creative and doing your choreographies. Then you have the styles. This is a little bit different, because if you want to use a little bit more style in step aerobics, you need to dance. Okay, this is really the thing that you need to know. So in dancing, we have the waving. Okay, we have the boogaloo, we have our oriental dance for the people from Morocco. You have the Indian dance. You have dance that is going to be more modern dance. Okay, and then on the jerky side, you have popping, you have jump style, you have hard style, you have free step, you have locking, and all the styles that are going to be on the same page. This is electric boogaloo. So electric boogaloo can be fluid, and it can be also jerky, saccade, which is called in modern dance. And then you have the arms. So you have different levels on arms when you're going to use the arms in your classes. Okay, so the level 1, which is donc les bras, it's port de bras, it's arms. Okay, in French. So the level 1 is going to be just two arms that make the same movement simultaneously. Okay, level 2 is going to be a little bit different. Level 3 is a bit more complicated, and level 4 more complicated. Okay, and then you can use a little bit of complexification, or simplification when you're doing your classes. So for instance, you can multiply the number of angles or the articulations that you are going to use. For instance, you can use shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers. Okay, you can vary your axis. okay? Instead of being just in front, like I said, with your hands, you can do one hand in front, the other hand on the left, one hand on the top, other hand is going to be down, okay? You can do what we call the counter move or misstep. This is which you can use the rhythm of your arms. For instance, you can do like 1, 2, and 3 on your arms, okay? Which is we can use it also with our hands, with our legs. And then we can associate or dissociate between the legs and the arms. So when you are going to do it for the level 1, which are the people beginners, you are going to have almost always the association between the legs and the arms. And plus you are going to, if you're going to the advanced level, you are going to use more of dissociation here between the legs and the arms, and this becomes more complicated to execute, so you're going to the advanced levels. Okay, and now, like I said, you can have also some different hand shapes. If you want to have your hands flat, okay, if you want to have one fingers, you can have hands open, clenched fists, ellipse or corolla. You can play with your hands and various different things that you want. You can do like a stop, a hush, like a shh, okay? You can do you can point fingers on if you want to create your choreography. This is really just the tools that you can bring when you're doing your variations, okay? So just if we're going just to go back a little bit to our basic steps for our variations, and you can ask me some questions if you want right now, so I can really help you with the different things. Just seeing it's everybody okay. Yes. Have any questions for now? It's okay. Yes, everything okay? Okay, so if it's clear, we are going to go to now we're going to go to 8 style factors. Okay, so the 8 style factors are head, shoulders, arms, hands, torso, hips, knees, and feet. Okay, so when we are going to use our body, we need to know the different articulations that we are going to have in our body. So the first one is head. So what can we do with our head? We can do the circles, we can go in front, in back, we can go to the side, we can push like our head in front, we can push our head back, okay? We can use our shoulders, we can use our arms, we can use our hands, we can use our torso. We can, like, for instance, go in front with the torso and back with the hand. We can go like a lean. We can bend our knees. We can really use different things in our choreography. So, for instance, how can we apply it to different movement? Okay, I'm going to just go a little bit further, and I'm going to back. So, if I do like grapevine, okay, I have the 4 counts on the left, and I have 4 counts on the right. So I know that when I want to use my style here on the counts here, 4 counts here, I'm going to just adjust them differently than 4 counts on the right. So the 4 counts on the right, when I go in my grapevine, I'm going to wrap my left shoulder, then I'm going to lean my torso, and I'm going to have my hands in the air on the count number here on the count number 3, and I'm going to have my knee, which is going to be on the count number 4. Okay, so I'm putting the hands and the knees up. Okay, I'm leaning my torso to the side, and I'm wrapping my shoulder in the same time. So this is for the first part of my grapevine. And then the other part of my grapevine, I'm going to lean a little bit my head. I'm going to have the hands on the floor here, and I'm going to have the heel tap. Okay? So this is when I want to produce just one movement. Okay? I'm going to use this style to change the grapevine. Okay? If I do only academical style, on my grapevine, it's going to be just a boring grapevine. But if I put a little bit of these textures and layers in my classes, automatically my class is a little bit different, a little bit of more with the style. Even for the beginners, it can be really helpful for the coordination. Okay, let's just roll up a little bit. So the things that we can use are what we call the relief in French, or in every dance that you can do. So in this relief, we have different moves that we can do. So we have like a bounce. A bounce is like just bending your knees on the music. 1, 2, dum, dum, dum. It's just like this. It's on the bass. Okay. You have the contract, which means you need to just contract your body for 2 counts. 1, 2. You can do it in a block way, or you can do it just by adding some rhythm in it. Okay. You have the curve, which is like a snake. It's more like a snake. Okay. You have body waving. Okay, you can do it in 4 counts, you can do it 2 counts. Normally we do body wave in 4 counts. This is the normal pace. And then you have the rhythms, which are 2 or 8. It's wherever you like. Then you have the arch. Arch is just arching a little bit your body. Is when you're doing like good mornings. If you know when you do your workup, your fitness workup, when you do our good mornings, it's doing like a arch, okay, with your back. Then you have the drag. The drag is just pulling your leg. You can do isolations. You can do the locking, the popping, the tooting, isolations. This is a free because you have all the counts that you want. You can do a freeze. A freeze is like contract, but a little bit different because you're going to do like you are going to do a movement that is going to be a little bit fluid, and contract is going to be a little bit jerky. You have the shift and lean, shifting your weight and leaning in front, back, to the side. Mess around is just it's like a little bit of freestyle, okay? You have the drop and the recover. The drop is just I'm going to really fast bend my knees and going on the floor. I have the fall, okay? So the fall is like drop, just this fall, you're on the floor, okay? This is a hip. You can do it like a split, or you can do whatever you want, okay? Then you have the rolls with your head, with your hips, with your shoulders. And then you have the undulations, okay? Which is doing a quiver, a shimmy, a ripple, a shiver, a snake, a worm, or different things. Yes? So this thing you can always apply like a texture on your movement. So let's talk about textures and layers. So like I said, here you have a grapevine. And what can you do with your grapevine? So like I said before, you can lean your head, you can bend your knees, you can do body wave, you can lean your torso and everything. So just the grapevine can become really a cool thing to do. So the things that we want to do when we want to do the layers, we want to play with amplitudes, we want to play with the rhythm, we want to play with inertia, okay, with different combos and with reliefs, okay. These are the spices that you can put when you are doing your movements. Now we're going to the more interesting part, because most of the people want to know how can you play with the music. And this one is really a specific one, because this is one that I like, because most presenters don't usually play with the music as much as they can. So this is the block M, really easily. You have 4 phrases, okay? You have 32 counts. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay? with the tempo. Okay, the tempo, it can be 130 BPMs, it can be 135 BPMs, it can be 142 BPMs. For me, the most important thing to do if we want to dance, I think that we need to be around 136 to 138. Okay, no need to go above, even if most of people, yes, but if you do a step on 150, it's going to be good. Not really, because you're not going to you are not going to be able to do all the styles that you want, because hardstyle, it's really above 150. Okay, it's like 180, 170 hardstyle. If you want like do a little bit more hip hop, then you need to be a little bit on the like 80 to 110, maybe 120. If you want to do like house, you're around 130 BPMs. Okay, so for me, if you want to do step and aerobics or even aerodance, for me, 136 to 138 maximum, because if I do that, I can really do good stuff with my moves. So the first level of counting, the most people what they count is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this is the level 1 when you're going to count your music. The level 2 of counting, a little bit advanced instructors, they're going to count 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8. So this is when you're going to use your split counter time. Yes. Then you have a more advanced level. Okay, this is a particular level skill that you need to really learn. So this is 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 and a 6 and a 7 and a 8. Okay, this is a little bit more complicated because you have just these quarter notes. Okay, this is 1 E and A. Okay, 2, 1 E and a 2, 2 E and a 3, 3 E and a 4. Okay, so what does it mean? Here I can put a move, here I can put a move, here I can put a move. If I count just like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm just putting one move. Okay, one move, one count, one move, one count. Here I have 3 moves. Like I said before, if you remember the counter move, okay? I have 3 moves. Here I can have 4 moves before doing this move, okay? This is really fast when counting. And then you have the expert level, which is this one, because all the musics are not going to be the same. Here I can have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a 6 and a 7. Okay, 5 and a 6 and a 7. Okay, this is really a different count, and then this is going to help you bring more to your choreography. So for instance, if I listen to one music and I'm going to listen to the another music, I'm not going to have the same beats on the same time. So when I want to create a choreography, I'm going to just use this to play a little bit around. Okay, so for instance, in step and aerobics, most of the parts are here. Level 1, level 2. If you want to go a little bit further, level 3. And if you want to go to the expert level, we are going to use this to create our choreos. Some benchmarks that you can use in your musical medium or with your musical block. So the first one, when you're going to listen to a sequence, you're going to listen. So it's always the construct or the structure of your block is or not your block, maybe your music better. The construct of your music in step and aerobics is always the same. We have 6 different sequences. So the first sequence is going to be the voice sequence with low intensity. Okay, the structure of the music allows you to easily place your instructions. Now we're going to talk a little bit about your didactics. Then this is the good time to use the precise coaching, okay, for the ground support, for working associations and everything else. Then the second block that you're going to have is going to be the vocal sequence, okay, weak ascending intensity. The music rises, but energy, but with a low, still weak or not insistent. Music generally calls for fluidity in sequence. Okay, so when you have the first part of the music, now you're going to go a little bit further, which is going to be musical loop. Okay, now we're going to go a little bit ascending. The intensity of the music is going to be a little bit. It's going to gets carried more, and it's less strongly dependent on the structure. For instance, now I'm going to just go on one music that I want to listen to. Okay, we're going to listen to Ava, Kings and Queens. Okay, so this is the music that we're going to listen. So listen carefully. I'm going to cut just a little bit more mic so you can hear the music.
Can't live without me, you wanna, but you can't, nah. Think it's funny, but honey, can't run the show on your own. I can feel my body shake, there's only so much I can take. I'll show you how a real queen behaves. No damsel in distress, don't need to save me. Once I stop breathing fire, you can't take me. And you might think I'm weak without a sword, but if I had one, they'd be bigger than yours. All the kings had their queens on.
Did you heard all the different layers? Okay, so the first one, vocal sequence, really low intensity. Then we have a lock-on sequence, which is going to be a ascending intensity. Then you have the musical loop. Listen to the musical loop.
On the throne, we would pop champagne and raise a toast to all of the queens who are fighting alone. Baby, you're not dancing on your own.
Okay, so now, for now, it was just a musical sequence, normal, and now the loop.
All the kings have their queens on the throne. To all the queens who are fighting alone. Baby, you're not dancing on your own.
Okay, so for now, so we were here, these three parts. Then now the last part was bass block. Okay, it's going to be with the high intensity, which is going to be just before the drop. Okay, and now you have the drop and you have the maximum intensity to this music. Listen carefully. Okay, so now that you have your block bass 2, block bass 1, block bass 2 with the maximum intensity, the music, okay, we know that this is not the music for like level for the third phase, but this is a cool thing to do to know the different levels. So when we have our block bass 2, when it passed, we're going to again on the vocal sequence. We have again the same process to have this in the end. So this can be always repeat in our classes. Okay, this can always be repeated. Okay, so the music is really important when we want to do our classes, because the choice of our music can bring some emotions, can bring some expressions when you are doing your teachings. Okay, so if you have a good if you have a good music, if you have like some commercial music like Ava or like Rihanna or anything else, you can use them to create an emotion in your classes. Like in France, it's not always good, because in France we have good instructors, okay, but the problem is the most of them is like always level 3, boom 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 boom. But if you want to express an emotion in your class, you need to sometimes be in really high notes, really big basses and everything, and sometimes you need to go a little bit lower. Okay, so for instance, if you look Katarina Vasilenko, if you look like Fares, or if you look Carlos, they know how to bring different emotions in the classes, and they know how to use their strategies. And we're going to talk about a little bit about strategies and about tactics. You can also use like the structure of internal time in your music, so you can play over the duration of the movement in contrast. You can go fast, you can go slow, you can accelerate, you can decelerate. You can play on the accents, the things that we already talked in 7 variations. You can produce sounds, like you can clap, or you can do a snap with your fingers. You can sing a little bit. Okay, you can accompany percussion. And then you have the structure of external time. Okay, so it's going to be compared to the music. You're going to respect the pulsation of the music. So if you have like ta 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 ta, okay, you can use, like, which is the case of the Ava, you can use this to translate in the movement. You can play, like I said before, with the accents. You can translate the move. This mood of this music, it's not going to be let's go guys, go go go. Okay, this music is going to be more dancey, more fun, more club style. Okay, then you're going to translate the movement by the speed. Like I said, if the music is slow, you're going to be slow. Your movements are going to be a little bit slower. If the music is fast, you're going to be faster. You need to bring more energy. Okay, you need to contrast always the relationship between the music and the movement. This is really important when it comes to choreography. So the relation music-movement is going to be all about quantity and quality. The quantity is going to be the counts, the measures, the phrase and the melodies, the rhythm and the accents, and the quality is going to be about style, about energy, about the mood, about the expression, and about your character. Which character do you bring? Sometimes there are people that are a little bit more funnier than the others when they do their classes. So you, as a presenter, which is your character? It is more funny guy, it's more a guy which is more athletic, it's more dancing guy. It's, you need to really know what is your character, okay, and in the mood that you want to bring to your class. This is one of the most cool things that I have the privilege to do. This is the storytelling. This is one of my biggest secrets when it comes to choreography. Why? Because most of the presenters don't do this in their classes, and sometimes the people, when you are doing the storytelling, they don't understand it, and this is difficult because it's really it can be really like a sword of Damocles, which means that if you're doing really cool, really right, it can be really an excellent class, and if you don't do the storytelling, it can really ruin your class. And sometimes you have the classes which are excellent, and sometimes you have bad classes, and I have a few of them also, and this is because I want to do but this is because my story is not great, okay? And this is important. When you do your class, you need to do this story, and I will show you why. In your class, or in every story, you have this thing which is called the storytelling, okay? So the first is the beginning of your class, then you have the middle of your class, and then you have the end of your class. The first part in every story is exposition, okay? You have the rise in the action, then you have the crisis, or in a story, then you have a climax, and then you have the denouement, or the end, okay? If you watch a movie, you will always see this sequence. Okay, exposition, rising in action, crisis, climax, and then the end. Okay, resolution. Here we can call it a resolution, denouement or resolution. So how can we put this in step and aerobics classes? Really easy. So this is the classical approach when you do a class. Okay, you have the beginning, the middle, the end. You have your intro here. Okay, you are going to present yourself. Hi, my name is Marko, and I'm going to do a cool class of step and aerobics. We are going to do 4 blocks, and then we are going to end it with a cool show on the music of, I don't know, James Bond. Okay, and then I have the outro. Outro is going to be my thanks to everybody else. So guys, thank you very much for watching this tutorial, this workshop, and I hope that you're going to do well. So these are the things that you need to do always. Okay, intro and outro. And then you have different phases in your choreography. So you have phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Okay, most of the people, when they're doing the intro or the beginning of the class in the block 1, they're going to do some stretching. Okay, passive stretching or maybe dynamical stretching, and then they're going to use their phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So the phase 1 is the learning phase. The phase 2 is the repetition phase, and the phase 3 is going to be the style phase. Okay, in some schools like Euro Education, you're going to learn about 4 phases. Okay, the fourth phase in the Euro Education school is going to be more about expressing yourself. In your fit school, there are just 3 phases. In Les Mills, you have 3 phases. Okay, so the first block, people are doing just 1, 2, and 3 is the same level of energy, of mood, of expression. Okay, then they have the second block. They put a little bit more of energy on the phase 3. Then they have the third block. In third block, they're going to do level a little bit more of energy here, a little bit more of energy. Then they're going to do the show. They're going to bring the energy to the end. And then the second show that they're going to do, they're a little bit smaller, okay, in terms of energy. And then you have most of people, instructors, and this is really regretful, they don't do the outro. This is, I think this outro is really important to do, outro. So this is more a personal approach that you can do when you're doing your classes. Okay, so my class, intro, block 1, block 2, block 4, just a final show, outro, and then you can do your intro. Like I said, most of the people do their stretching and everything else. Then phase 1, your energy needs to be low because you are going to do academical style learning. Phase 2, you need to give more of energy, and then the phase 3, you need to put your energy a little bit higher. Then you have, again, when the music drops down, when you learned all the phases, when you have your transitions here, you need to go a little bit lower, okay, in your energy, and then you go a little bit higher here in phase 3. And the same applies to the phase 3 on the third block, fourth block, and the final show. You need to be a little bit more, and then here a little bit, you don't have the same in energy here and here. Okay, so now secret sauce. This is my secret sauce. And this one, it's my approach. It's a little bit different. Sometimes sometimes I really, when I work on it, I really have, like, when I do my preparations, I like to have like 1 month or maybe 1.5 months when I try to when I have a convention, I really prepare much for my class. So why? The first part, when I like to prepare my my CD, so my music. I work on my transitions. I work on my CDs. I know all of my music, and this part is really important. So this is just example of one of my approaches. This one was in January this year. in Besançon. Okay, so this approach, I always like to do a connection with arms. Hi Edu. So I always like to do connections with arms, because when you do arms, it can really help you to first of all connect with the music, and then connect with the people. Okay, so you can do like a little sequence, really easy sequence that you can learn them in just with the connection with the arms. Yes. Then I do my didactics. This was in Besançon. My didactics, the first block, like it was really fast. Like not the first block, the first sequence of the block was really fast. The first 16, like in 2 minutes, you have the first 16. Okay, why? Because I want people to just be directly in the class. Okay, so if you don't have any attention when you're doing your class, like in fourth class, I don't have any attention because I was thinking about my girlfriend or everything else. Then they are not with you. Your pupils are not with you. They are in the other, their mind is elsewhere. Okay, but if you do this, if you do like boom, really, they need to concentrate here, high, and then the other parts, I'm going to do this. I'm going a little bit lower in my energy, and then I'm going to bring up this till the phase 3. I like to do what we call the Japanese insertion. This is a method which is really cool, because this method can bring you a class to the next level. Just doing simple choreo, but doing this Japanese insertion is going to bring your choreography to the next level. And I always like to do a symmetrical choreo in first part. Maybe most of the people I know in the world do symmetrical blocks. It's normal. You can always do symmetrical blocks, but sometimes I think that it's better to do a symmetrical block, because the connection is better than if you do a symmetrical. You can test it if you want, and you will tell me about it. Then when I do these two methods that I use are Japanese insertion and step-by-step method. Then in the second block, I use the 24 count method with 8-part insertions, and most of my time insertions are going to be on the arms. Really cool, easy things to do on the legs, like basic step or V-step or marches, but I'm going to insert my arms here. Okay, so my connections is here with my arms, and then I'm going to insert them here, which can be really cool because it's a little bit of surprise here. And again, it can be a symmetrical block or asymmetrical. In this case, it's a symmetrical. Then in my third block, as you can see, I'm going to use addition, my method of addition, but my level here of phase 1, which is the learning phase again, is going to be a little bit more. Okay, and I'm going to lower my repetitions here, and then again, I need to have more energy here. Yes. The second block, I'm going to respect all the things, but it's going to be liaison method, and it's going to be symmetrical, because maybe if I took too much time here it needs to be fast. Fast learning, easy block, and liaison method. And then I'm going to have here, if I want, and this all depend of the reaction of the public, insertion or cutting, and then final show here. So the first repetition of my show is going to be really high, and the other, boom, I'm going to put more energy, more style to the end, and then is going to be the outro. The storytelling, guys, you can always personalize. You can always use like whatever you want, but like I said, you need to have some reflection on how to do your blocks, how to educate people. You need to know that step and aerobics, it's like training. Okay, so if you have training all the time, the same, people are not going to progress. But if you play a little bit with different things, you can have this progression, which is going to be really cool. Okay, so teaching methods and the pace of teaching. This one is really cool. So when you watch your members, you have typical behaviors of that are going to show themselves. So here I had skills, rhythm, space, show expression, and creativity. So when you watch the beginners, they have low movements, they have low amplitude, they are really released, they are flexed, they are imprecise in their shape. If you watch advanced people, they are precise in their movement, they have large and dynamic movements, their arms and legs are really coordinated or dissociated. Okay, this is really cool to see the difference between the beginners and the advanced people. So when you're teaching people, you need to know these skills. You need to know what are the behaviors of one or of the others. So here I can put style. I can put every style that I want. I can put difficulty that I want. Here I need to have something that is going to be really easy to do for them. Okay, I cannot do the same things here and the same things here. Okay, so this one, it's really important to know and to know how you can use the didactics on these different people. So I did a graph on it. So the difficulty of the course will depend on the dosage between the variations, methods, and learning speed. Okay, plus my speed. If my speed is here, it's going to be really difficult for my beginners. Okay, if I have a fast pace here, it's going to be really difficult. If I had complicated methods like cutting, like extensions, like double insertions, it can be really difficult. If I have like 7 variations in one move, it's going to be really difficult for my beginners. Okay, so I need to use the optimal dosage between my variations, my methods, and my learning speed. So my learning speed, like I said before, if it's high and the movements are simple, I can be on the level 2. I can be here. Okay. If I have a low learning speed and if my technical level is simple, it's really for the level 1 for the beginners. And if I have high learning speed and complex technique, I'm here on the level number 3. Okay, I'm really big in my expectation for my pupils. Again, low, simple, medium, high, complex. Okay, you need to really know these things when you're doing your didactics. The difficulty of the technique will depend on the number of the elements that constitute. So you have 2 stomps. If I have step over the top, it's more easy than do jump, kick, ball change with the boxer step. This is more difficult than 2 stomps. Okay, so this is maybe for the 3rd level. This is maybe for my beginners, yes. And then this is really for the beginners. Yes. So I can play also with my technique. This is really difficult. These are difficult things to do. These are simple things to do. And the counts are the same. But this is fast, this is slow. So now, how can we adjust different methods to different levels of classes? Here I have initiation step, okay, which is going to be it's maybe before beginners, okay. So I need to learn them basic steps. I don't have any turns when I do my class, and I have 4 repetitions per movement, minimum 4 repetitions per movement. This means I need to do 4 basic steps. And my methods are going to be step-by-step method, half-time method, linear method, extraction method, addition, and pyramidal. Okay? Now when I go to the beginners, I can have one turn per block, but also I have 4 reps per movement, okay? And the method that I'm going to use is going to be the global method. Then I'm going to have the step experienced beginner, okay? Now I can have 2 repetitions per movement. I can have some simple variations. And I will have like methods like liaison, cross, phrasing, substitution, and everything else. Yes? In step 2, this is intermediate step, I will have some basic steps with some variations. My learning speed is going to be a little bit faster, and I have more combos. I'm going to play a little bit with the insertions, displacement methods, front-back methods. I cannot do front-back methods here for the beginners. It's not cool for them, okay? So when you have beginners, respect them. Don't use front and back methods. Then we have experienced intermediate level. Here we have basic stuff, simple and complex variations. We have some transformations and combinations, combos. But here, the difference between two, here it's really airy. This means that you don't have elements that are one to another, like how can we say in English? They're put just one after the another. Here we can put different elements one after the another. Okay, if here for instance I have pas de bourrée, then I have like box step, really easy. Then I have one step knee, and then I have one tap. Here I have pas de bourrée, then I have knee ball change. Okay, then I have knee with a tap ball change. Okay, so this is more airy than this. And then I'm going to have cross-cutting, extension, and advanced options. And here I'm going to do, I can condense everything, okay, and I can use all the methods. This is really condensed. These movements are like, you have layers and textures, and you have complicated movements, complicated variations, and this is really, you know, level 3, it's really high. And so to go further in your creation, you need to use different variations and change the order of your step. So the first, when I start my choreography, I can start with a lift ball change, then a knee twist, then a switch. Or I can start with a knee twist, switch, and then lift ball change. Or I can start with a switch, then knee twist, then lift ball change. Or I can start with a switch, then I can have my lift ball change, and I have my knee twist, okay? So I can do whatever I like in my choreo. And this is really the cool part of creating choreography, because sometimes I want to start with just one element, and then I want to change the element, okay? And if you do that, your level of choreography is going to be really, really high. So one of example of organization is when I do my blocks, is going to be like simple movements with slow learning speed. So this is really for initiation. And then I'm going to do the same for the 4 blocks. Then I'm going to learn them when I do my classes. Here I'm going to débutant means beginners. This I'm going to go a little bit further. Okay, I'm going to have some same things, but here I'm going to add some orientation, and I'm going to go back to simple movements with small speed learning. Here, so this is a beginner, experienced beginner. I'm going to put some simple moves with some orientations here, okay, and then the other is going to be dependent on the public that I on the previous block. So this is block 1, 1, 2, block 3, block 4, okay, and this is my strategy, my tactic when I'm learning people to do my classes. SLS means slow learning speed, and fast learning speed is going to be FLS, okay? So when I go to intermediate level, I'm going to have fast learning speed, complex movements, simple movements with fast learning speed, okay? This is really the tactics that you can use when you're going to do your choreos, okay? And some other things that you can use when you're creating is going to be the educational variations. So for instance, if I do 3 knees and 2 basic steps, okay, I can respect the leg support, okay. So if I have 5 counts, that is always going to be my 5 counts. For instance, 3 step knees and 2 stomps. So if I have 5 counts on my 2 stomps, it's going to always in my choreo is going to be 5 counts. I cannot change. It cannot become 6 counts. Okay. I need to respect the families. If marches, so if 2 stomps, I'm always going to have the variations are going to be in the same family. I cannot put like chassé and then counter pas de bourrée. Even if it's 5 counts, I cannot do it because it doesn't respect this educational variation. I can respect the accents. So if my accent is on the count number 2, I'll always have my variations on the count number 2. And then I can combinate, I can do the combos on 3 different schools. Yes? So this is more about the techniques of your didactic style. And now the cool parts. So the creation of choreo. I start with a chassé, and then I can go even march or tap or touch. I can use my families. I start with a chassé, I'm going to do marches. Chassé plus kickball change, chassé plus mambo, chassé plus basic, chassé plus L step, okay? Then I add a little bit. This is really a cool thing because I want to do chassé and then I just want to do these steps in just one family. Then I can do chassé, I can do a tap, and in tap I have a ball change, turtle ball change, knee twist, kick ball change, lift, block, tap side, everything that I want, okay? And in touches, I can do this, step, knee, extra, and all the way. Okay, I can use whatever I want. I start here and then chassé, and then I go 1, 2, or 3, what I want. Or I can do the combos. So first I do a chassé, then I do a march. In marches, I'm going to do a kickball change. So chassé, kickball change. Then I go back to turnball change. Okay, and when I do my turnball change, I'm going to do a tam-tam. Or another thing to do, I have a chassé, I'm go on my family's touch, I do a step knee, chassé step knee, then I do a knee twist, and then I'm doing a baby mambo. Okay, all these things that you need to know is the logic of the freestyle that we'd seen before in the previous images. And here, like I said, now you can do whatever you want. Okay, when you're here, you can add different moves. Okay, you will chassé, then I do a knee, then I do a ball change, then I do a tap. Or if I do a chassé, then I do a knee, then I do a block, then I do a step tap. Yes, so this is really a cool thing to do, to try at home when you want to create your choreo. And that's it. That's all, guys. Do you have any questions, comments? If yes, just write it, and I'm going to wait a little bit for you. It was too fast. I know, because I like to speak fairly fast. I have just another shooting after this live, so everything is clear. Okay, great. Okay, so guys, yes, I'm going to. What is a tam-tam? Okay, excellent, maestro. Thank you very much. A tam-tam is like a chassé on the step. You have listen to the mic. You have chassé. Okay, on the step. You're going to the side on the step. It's like this. Look at the mouse. It's going to do tam-tam. Okay, with the chassé. on the step. This is the tam-tam. Fizan, yes, I'm going to give you the slides. Just put your email address in the comments, and I'm going to use it to send you the slides. Marco, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias, mi amigo. Anybody else? Some questions, or everything is clear? So, like I said, just put your email address in the comments, or you can send me via Facebook. Okay, I will send you, no problem. So if you like this kind of live workshops, tell me. Okay, don't tell me, and I will going to do more. I know that for now I didn't did more of YouTube videos. I have some videos that were shot last year, and I have really much time on other shootings to do. But I'm going to after this social distancing thing, I'm going to do again different videos. It's going to be a little bit different than the things that we are going to that you know on this YouTube channel. And guys, if you like this kind of things, share it with the people. Tell them about it, and I'm going to really try to work more on this YouTube channel, because really it's a job. It's really it's a cool job, but it's a job. So I really want to thank you for supporting me and for being here on this small event. And for the next time, if you have any questions, comments, like I said, always ask me. I'm going to try to reply it as soon as I can. And I hope that we'll have the opportunity to see us after this social distancing. Guys, thank you very much for listening to me. I will send you the slides, and I will see you the next time. So have a nice day, have a nice night, and see you soon. Bye bye. Is it possible? Okay. Is it possible to show us in video how do you create a class for beginners, intermediate, and experts? No problem. I'm going to do it. Yes, no problem. Edu, it's going to be on my YouTube channel. What do you want exactly? Tell me, what do you want exactly for creation of the things? Is there some particular thing that you want to work on when it's time for the beginners, or it's something else? Just like I said, just tell me in the comments. I need to go to the other shooting, and I will send you all the slides just after, like maybe tomorrow morning you will have the slides. And guys, I'm really grateful for being here, and have a nice day. And I will see you tomorrow for other videos, and we're going to talk on the phone or via email. Okay, take care. Bye. I need to really go. I'm really late. Bye bye.